guys seem to do everything Chioma does. Like, if Chioma goes to the left, Caroline will go to the left. If Chioma, it's not shade, it's something I'll say in front of Caroline.
It has happened. Here we go.
Caroline is a follow. Do you know what we call follow? Like,
Why do people perceive you as a bitch?
Like, I feel like you and I, we will clash.
girl, bye. Next.
Okay, was I the only one that was trying so hard to pretend that some of the dramas in this episode of The Real Housewives of Lagos was completely fake? Like, guys, it was completely over the top. Was I the only one? And aside that, was I also the only one that felt like Mariam was trying so hard, like extra hard, to be the new drama, to sort of overthrow Laura, you know, as the drama queen of the group? Like, guys, this episode, in as much as it seemed that a lot wasn't really going on, guys, a whole lot was going on. And I was trying so hard to pretend, but you know what? I can't really help it. So we just get into the video. I will tell you all every single detail of the parts that were actually juicy and the parts that I felt like, okay, now, this is not really giving at all. This is not at all adding up. I'm sure that a lot of you are already getting agitated, especially those of you that are Laura's fans. You're coming on here to say, oh, Glory, you hate Laura. Oh, that's why you're always picking on Laura. It's all good. So do me a favor. Watch this video to the end. Go ahead. Let me know your own thoughts in the comment section below. And please, this disclaimer is out there already that this is my own opinion, my own reaction to episode 5 of The Real Housewives of Lagos. So if you have anything different from how I feel right now, please use your words. Go ahead. Let me know in the comment section below as we start. But before I continue, let me first of all welcome all of you back to my YouTube channel. My name is Glory Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory. I am the girl with the T. This is where you get the most detailed, factual, accurate analysis of reality TV shows, movies, and trending social topics. So if you enjoy content like that on YouTube, social media in general, this is the right place to be. And quick announcement, tomorrow as usual is our FSWG Saturday YouTube live stream. You totally do not want to miss out. Tomorrow's conversation is going to be mind-blowing. I'm not going to spill the tea just yet on what we will be talking about, but just come through and trust me, it's going to be worth your while. Now moving on, let's quickly get into the episode 5 of The Real Housewives of Lagos. So episode 5 started with a continuation of Chioma's organized getaway with the ladies to Abuja. Now if you cast your mind back to episode 4's ending, the ladies were trying to have some sort of slumber party, like a PJ party, but it was getting boring because of course there were plus ones who did not know each other. Yes, they've probably never met, and so Chioma was already complaining about, oh my god, it's boring, people are really uptight, nobody is doing any introductions to anybody. And so she decided to introduce some games. Yes, some very, very interesting games, which I actually enjoyed, save for the fact that certain things started happening that I really did not really understand the necessity for those things happening. So they started off by playing is it musical chairs, which Mariam won, and then they extended it to play Never Have I Ever, which once again Mariam almost took control of. Yes, because she had literally done most of the things that the ladies were mentioning, like threesomes, like kissing girls, like just basically doing a lot. They played truth or dare, and it was as if opportunity just suddenly presented itself for Tiannah and Mariam to attack like sharks, like lions. Because guys, the questions they were asking, oh my god, it was rude. It was just basically rude. It was rude, it was petty, it was savage. Okay, let me just go ahead and tell you. So Tiannah went ahead to ask Caroline, you know, what happened to her marriage.
Truth or dare? What happened between you and your husband? I don't want to talk about it.
And to be very frank with you all, I felt like that was completely insensitive. That was completely rude. Because number one, she was fully aware that this was the exact same thing, this line of questioning, this line of conversation that had caused that major altercation between Caroline and Laura just, I think, weeks ago. And from that question, it was very obvious that she was very pissed, or still pissed, at Caroline for turning up late to the airport when they were en route to Abuja from Lagos. Remember in episode 4 when the ladies were about to embark on the journey, to Abuja, when they were to meet at the airport. I think Tiannah was the first person that showed up, and so she was very upset that the rest of the ladies, they were about 2 or 5 hours late, as she put it. And then Caroline was upset that, she was saying hello to Tiannah, and Tiannah did not really acknowledge her greetings. So instead just pounced on her and was asking her, why are you late, So both of them, they did not clear the air on that issue yet. So it was still obvious that Tiannah was kind of still upset at Caroline and was probably looking for a way to crawl under her skin. She succeeded because Caroline was obviously offended by that question. I mean, guys, if I were to be the one, I would also be offended. And I liked Caroline's response during her confessionals, although I wish that she had actually given that response face to face to Tiannah, yes, so that it would be, clap back to clap back.
Why is she always trying to talk about my marriage? This is not the first time she's done it. If Tony feels like talking about someone's marriage, you should start with her baby daddy first.
So she had said that Tiannah wasn't in the best position to ask about anybody's marriage. She should at least start with talking about our own marriage, which we're not really going to go into because, hey, that conversation is very, very scandalous, very, very controversial. And of course, it's not our business, so we're not going to go into it. Now, moving on to Mariam's own truth or dare question to Laura. She had the nerve to ask Laura why she did her nose and why she also had a change up. And I was wondering, like, girl, how is it any of your concern? And frankly, I loved Laura's response. Laura was very, very bold and confident with her response. She wasn't cringing or even feeling ashamed of what she had done. Yes, however, I was wondering, like, okay, why is Laura so chilled with Mariam? Because I was already thinking that, okay, imagine if it was the likes of Caroline or even Chioma that had thrown that truth or that question at Laura. How would she have reacted? Anyways, moving on, Mariam now decided to crawl under Chioma's friend's skin. Chioma's friend is called OG. Guys, I mean, OG was literally quiet all through the games. She was just very, very quiet. And then Mariam decided to throw a jab at her, like, how did she even put that question now?
Why do people perceive you as a bitch? Next time she tries to own it, if you're a full-time bitch or a non-time bitch, like, own it.
Half-time bitch. Half-time.
Are you a bad bitch or something like that? Or how would you describe yourself? Like, she was basically insinuating that Chioma's friend was uptight, kind of like into a shell, quiet kind of person. But then the word she used, a bitch, that kind of thing, it was kind of offensive to Caroline. Yes, I mean, guys, Caroline was just basically getting offended by every single thing that Tiannah and Mariam were dishing out to the ladies. And I could quite understand, I mean, these are people that do not really know themselves like that. They don't really know one another. They do not really have a rapport, so all in the guise of a game. Tiannah and Mariam, they are coming out with guns blazing, dragging the ladies under the bus. And I felt like it was only Caroline that could really perceive the jabs that were coming with those games in quotes. And Chioma was just basically having fun, enjoying everything. For her, it's all truth and dare games, right? So it would not be a complete or total truth or dare game if people do not really say what is on their chest. So they should just say it with their full chest and bring it all out. And I love the way that Chioma's friend, OG, answered that question.
I'm waiting for your answer.
But maybe I'm a bitch sometimes. It depends on who's.
Well, how would you describe yourself personally?
Chill.
But it looks fake.
Really?
If you say I'm fake, because Tiannah literally said that, if she says that she's a chilled person, then it looks fake. And I felt like, Tiannah, you have no right whatsoever to tell people that they are fake or they act fake. You are not them. You don't know them, But as I said, I loved the way that OG responded to Tiannah that, then you would say that all my life I have been fake. And that kind of put a zipper to Tiannah's mouth. Then to round off the game, Mariam dared Chioma to kiss her ass.
Chioma. I dare you to please kiss my ass.
And guess what? Chioma took on the dare. Hey! Okay, guys, listen. I think this is the part where I get to tell you how I felt whilst this truth or dare game was going on, whilst the never have I game was going on. Somehow, I had this weird feeling that Tiannah had actually given Mariam a lowdown of the ladies' personalities, of each of the ladies' personalities, and Mariam came prepared to come and, you know, how do I put it? Kind of, should I say trigger them? Yeah, trigger them, piss them off, you know, kind of crawl under their skin, all in the guise of a game. And she did it well, yes. Although she was not able to crawl under the skin of Chioma because Chioma was fully prepared to have fun. And of course, she was the host of the entire trip. So I think she had that responsibility to put up a good front, you know, to ensure that the ladies had a good time and no drama to happen. And then for Laura, I felt like Laura was not really reacting because, hey, she noticed somehow that, okay, let's say this Mariam carries some mad level of madness or craze, way past my own. And she did not really want to like clash, you know, on the first meeting with Mariam. But then Caroline was the one that was, I wouldn't say overly sensitive, but she was literally catching all the jabs. Like she was literally catching all the negativity in all of the games and all of that. And I'm like, okay, oh, it seems as though Tiannah kind of brought in a friend to the group to come and stand as, you know, her defense. When drama comes, you know, she'll instigate things, then she'll keep quiet, crawl back into her shell and act like she did not really do anything. But then let's keep on watching. Now, moving on, as I expected, the ladies are kind of paired up to discuss the entire activities of the game the night before. Chioma had gone to visit Caroline in her room to ask her if she was okay, just to check in on her. And Caroline had actually, you know, voiced out about how offensive Tiannah's question was to her about her marriage. For her, her children's father, he's her children's father. Her ex-husband is her ex-husband. As far as she's concerned, he's doing his job as a father and he's doing it perfectly. So she would rather anybody does not talk about him or even bring up her marriage in their conversations moving forward. And for Chioma, she still felt like, well, it was all a game. So it was allowed for people to just voice out whatever they wanted to voice. And I felt like, no, Chioma, that is where you are wrong. There needs to be a boundary. There needs to be a line that nobody crosses, knowing fully well that, hey, conversations like this could actually trigger people, you know, into leaning into the negative part of their minds, right? And that was exactly what Tiannah did to Caroline. Meanwhile, on the other side, that very same day, Mariam and Tiannah, they were having conversations. Mariam, of course, was complaining that, oh, when she came into the room that night, that's the night before when they had the slumber party, that she had hugged people, shook people's hands, and then when she wanted to shake Caroline's hand, Caroline had shook her hand like this, like she had COVID or something. And I'm wondering, like, girl, come on. You're seeing things already. And see, this is the thing about when people pass on their perception about people onto you. You begin to see things that you're not supposed to see. You begin to read meaning into things that you're not even supposed to read meaning into, you know. So for the fact that Mariam was already quick to judging Caroline, it just went further to buttress my thought that, okay, Tiannah had obviously said a truckload of things to Mariam just the same way that she did with Laura, that made Laura had this negative energy towards Caroline from the first meeting. And already Tiannah was prepping Mariam for battle, for war, like some kind of unseen war, you know, telling Mariam that, oh, she should go ahead and go for the is it leisure park viewing or sightseeing that ladies were going for. She's not going to join them because she's not feeling too well. She's feeling under the weather, that, oh, she should prepare herself. If anything happens, she's sure that Mariam can hold her own. And I'm wondering, like, people are literally going out to have fun. Why is Tiannah making everything such a hassle? Why is she making it look like they're going into the boxing ring to go and fight when they are only going to the park to have fun? Anyways, the next scene showed us the dinner that the lady had. They were all looking regal. I completely loved the theme of, is it black and silver that they were all wearing? Although Caroline decided to be the odd one out, wearing red, right? So they decided, yes, courtesy of Chioma, to share their before and after perceptions about one another. And then Laura started with her before and after perception of Toyin, which struck me as kind of odd because I thought that these two people they go a long way back, or they come a long way. I don't know how to put it, but I thought that, from episode 1, we're given the impression that Toyin and Laura, they knew each other, they are friends, they've been besties for a long time, right? I mean, they knew each other in and out. But then Laura was out here saying that, she used to think that Toyin was a very, very problematic person. But now she knows that Toyin is very, very unproblematic, very, very classy, carries herself well. And I was wondering, like, hey, Egbamio, I don't understand this. It's not really adding up. It's not really making sense. If you say that you people have come a long way, right? You know each other. How do you not know that she is unproblematic? How do you not know that she's very, very classy? What is with all this? I knew this person, I did not know this. But I mean, that was the same way she mentioned in episode 4 that she has not really been patronizing Chioma in a long time. Meanwhile, in the first episode, she made it clear to us that, she and Chioma were friends. Guys, there's a lot of loopholes in this series at the moment. It's confusing my brain. Proper confusing. And Mariam decided to also give her own before and after perception about Caroline, but not before pointing out the incident of the previous night where she was complaining that, Caroline had shook her hand like this instead of like this, that it made her feel somehow. And Caroline had just brushed it off, they had just talked about, Caroline is actually not like that. And then Toyin also gave her own before and after perception about Laura, making it clear that, this is how Laura is. Laura is actually a family-oriented person that actually makes her look bad, in the midst of people. She probably has lost friends about it. And then the other ladies also agreed that, yes, Toyin actually knows Laura, more than the rest of them. So she was in the right position to explain Laura's personality to them. And then Caroline, or rather Chioma, also took the opportunity to talk about, her own perception about Caroline, saying that when people first meet Caroline looks very, very intimidating. She has this rich billionaire wife outlook, but then when you get close to her, she's like the sweetest, softest person. And then Caroline also used the opportunity to talk about Chioma as well, that Chioma also looks intimidating, but then she sees Chioma as a sister. Guys, whilst they were going on and on, it became a very, very mushy moment, and Laura was not really having it at all.
Caroline is this, Caroline is sweet. Chioma, we beg you. Caroline, Chioma is this, Chioma is that. Oh my goodness, you guys stop.
Because she felt like, okay, people should just get a room already. But then it was obvious that somehow she was kind of jealous about this showering of accolades, going on between the two women. And I'm like, okay, I knew that something was going to brew out of this, and I was not wrong, because towards the end of this episode, guys, Laura exploded. And from all of her explosion, from all of her outbursts, it was very, very obvious that she was not really comfortable with the sudden closeness or relationship that had brewed between Caroline and Chioma. We're coming to that. This next scene got me cracking up. Yes, and I'll tell you why. So Mariam invites Laura to the poolside for a conversation. In this conversation, she was really trying to find out Laura's perception of the rest of the ladies, because of course, moving forward, she's going to be joining them as per the show requires, for hangouts, for dinners, for lunches, for whatever they will be doing, right? So Laura decided to go all out to give some coded shading to all the ladies. According to Laura, Mariam should prepare her mind, because there's going to be a lot of lies. There's a lot of lies going on already. People lying about having things that they do not have.
Let me just tell you again, there are a lot of lies going around. People claiming that they have what they don't have. People claiming that they are what they are not.
And I was wondering if she was throwing shades at Chioma, or is it Caroline? Who exactly was Laura throwing shades at? Now, she did not stop there. She went as far as even giving some details about the fact that, she and Caroline, they had a clash about family-oriented conversations, although she did not go into details as to the reason why they had the clash. So the way she presented that information, she made it look like, it was the fault of Caroline that she and Caroline had actually had a clash. And then she also gave a brief detail about the clash that she and Chioma had, still about family, and once again omitting the fact that this is the reason why they had actually had the clash, and once again making herself look like the saint in all of this. Not even stopping there, she even went as far as telling Mariam not to call anyone her friend except they call her their friend. Now, this time around, once again, she was referring to Chioma, saying that, oh, before they will come and say that, oh, you are my customer, you're my client. And I'm like, wow. So even if Chioma earlier had gone to Laura's room, I think the previous day, to go and, you know, kiss her makeup, like hug her, ask her if they are good, if she was enjoying the trip. Laura had even gone as far as saying that, oh, we are good, even though we are not friends, you know, that kind of thing. It was very obvious that Laura still had not gotten over that clash that she and Chioma had. Because at every given opportunity, she's throwing jabs. She's using lines from that episode. And guys, you know what? Hey, God. You see, okay, fine. This is the part now that I had already predicted in my previous video. So, Laura was now telling Mariam that she has a feeling that both of them might clash.
I feel like you and I are gonna have.
You and I?
Yeah.
It's you that even the list of person I'm thinking about.
No, I just feel like our energy is really, really high.
And it's clash.
We will clash.
So in advance.
So apologies.
So when it's happening,
apologies in advance.
I told you, chairs go. I told you we're going to do this, but
because both of them, they have similar kind of energy. And Mariam was trying to dissuade her from thinking in that light that, listen, I do not think that both of us will clash. But guys, guess what? In my heart of heart, I was really praying that both of them should clash. They should clash, because I really want to check something. I want to see who has the madness more. Because these two ladies, hey, oh God. Listen, let's just move forward. Finally, the last scene that we saw. Laura had invited the ladies. She wanted to officially invite them for her runway show. Remember, in the previous episode, she was planning a collaboration with her friend Amina, right, on releasing her own fashion line. So she had invited the ladies, you know, to officially, hey God, English, to officially inform them and to also invite them or appeal to them to walk the runway for her. Guys, the others came. Iyabo Ojo was back from a trip, obviously displaying new veneers. Yes, she had gone to do her teeth, thankfully. And then Chioma and Caroline were not present. Now, this was the part where I completely got disconnected from the show, because I just felt like the following reactions from Laura and Tiannah and even Mariam did not make complete sense at all. I mean, it was the most petty, the most unreasonable form of savagery that I've ever seen on the show yet. Yes, it was just completely unreasonable, because I was just wondering, these two people, they are not present. What stops you all from picking up your... Okay, let me not use the F word. But what stops you all from picking up your phone to call them and to find out if they are okay, to find out their whereabouts? No, they did not do that first. Laura automatically just started flaring up. She was upset. She was already jumping into conclusion that, Chioma will not show up. Anywhere that Chioma goes, Caroline will follow.
Yeah, we are very respectful of each other, but we will never be cool. Like cool, because we've said nasty things to each other. We don't talk if you guys are not here. No, so I don't have a problem with Karen. I don't even have a problem with Chioma, right? But Caroline seems to do everything Chioma does. Like, if Chioma goes to the left, Caroline will go to the left. If Chioma, it's not shade.
Chioma, and then Tiannah was literally adding fuel to the fire that was already brewing up on Laura's head.
It's something I was saying in front of Caroline. If Chioma says I will not show up today, Caroline will not show up.
For those of you that don't understand what follow means in Nigeria, it means a headless chicken, you know, someone that does not have a mind of their own. So anything they tell you to do, you do, you follow.
Caroline is a follow. Do you know what we call follow like? Like, you know, she goes everywhere or does anything Chioma says, you know.
They were just going on and on, attacking Chioma and Caroline, and Maria was adding. You know, it was just very, very ridiculous. And then Iyabo was there just laughing and enjoying all the jabs and everything that was going left, right, and center. It was later on that she now decided to be the reasonable person or the bigger person, you know, and called up Chioma. Now, it was when Iyabo had called Chioma. Yes, she actually put it on speaker so that everybody would hear. So it was when she had called Chioma that Chioma opened up and said that she was still in Abuja, because it was 1 week later. So the rest of the ladies, they had gone back to Lagos, but Chioma did not go back to Lagos with them. And I was wondering how they did not know that, because they all went to Abuja together. So obviously they should have known that Chioma was still stuck up in Abuja, or I don't know, guys, I have no idea. But then Chioma had said that she was in Abuja, that it was her aunt's 60th birthday, but she was en route Lagos. So if she makes it on time, she would come join the ladies at Laura's little invitation. If she could not, she would let them know. Now, after the call, Laura was still very, very adamant that no, Chioma is lying, that she studied psychology, that if Chioma wanted to come, Chioma will come. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you people have Laura's educational background, let us know if really she studied psychology, because me, I do not get it. But she was just very, very upset. And then she even went as far as saying that, oh, she and Caroline, they will never be cool. Guys, to be very frank with you, at that point in time, I just concluded that, you know what? Laura is back to being a dramatic self. She probably have seen that Mariam is going to steal the show of being the most dramatic person, yes, amongst the cast. And so she has probably decided that, okay, fine, no, moving forward, I'm taking back my throne, I'm taking back my trophy. I want to be the only drama queen. Mariam is not going to come and steal my shine. Guys, I just felt like that was what was going on. And then Tiannah was busy being the instigator. As a matter of fact, guys, let's just leave it at that, because Laura decided that she was not inviting what's her name, Chioma and Caroline. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to say anything about it because I have no idea what the actual truth is until Chioma and Caroline shows up to explain themselves. But that leaves us to wait on for the next episode of the show. I'm going to leave it at this point for you all to let me know your thoughts about this particular episode, because for me, as I stated earlier, I saw a lot of forceful dramatics. I saw a lot of fake petty drama. Yes, that is what I can only describe it to be. So just go ahead, let me know your own thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, especially tomorrow 3 p.m. WAT for our Saturday YouTube live stream. Do have an amazing TGIF. Bye.